Hi everybody, part 2 of birthday book haul. Welcome back, and just want to take a moment to show you a few things before we get onto books. Just want to show you this top. Look at these sleeves, these lovely pleated sleeves, and I can flap about in them. From Sainsbury's, the supermarket. They've got some gorgeous clothes in there at the minute, so sorry if you're not in the UK, because I don't think Sainsbury's are outside of the UK, but yeah, beautiful quality as well, not too expensive. My bracelet that David bought for my birthday, it's got a beautiful angel, guardian angel wing, and a little puffed heart in rose gold, which I'm really loving rose gold at the moment, and a beautiful ring, rose gold from Pandora with hearts on. I probably can't see that too well, so I thought I'd just show you those things before we started. So on with the books, another great big pile. First one, Fingersmith by Sarah Waters. I love Sarah Waters. I've read all of her novels, and I read them all from the library, and so now I'm just collecting them as I see them going inexpensively in the charity shops or wherever. This is from when we're away in Barter's books. Yeah, she's a great writer, mainly historical fiction. Always got some sort of a twist in there, and very accurate in the historical facts, but a really excellent writer. Fingersmith's one of my favourites actually, and Fingersmith is what they used to call thieves back in the day. This is in the 1800s in London. Yeah, I'm going to read all these again at one stage. I'm never used to be a rereader, but yeah, things that I haven't read for a long while and loved, you know, I wanted to start them again. The next one is Room, Emma Donoghue. Now again, I read this a long time ago when it first came out, before we ever had any hype about the film, etc., and loved it, and really wanted to get this in my collection, because I'm you know, I am collecting Emma Donoghue books. And it's really strange that I came across this, because I was only talking about this recently, because our book club choice for the library this month is books that have been turned into films, and I thought, oh yeah, what shall I talk about? What can I recommend? Because I know not many of them have read Room. I haven't seen the film. I'm not sure I want to see the film. I don't know. I enjoyed the book so much, probably might spoil the book for me. So anyway, that's for my collection. Next, we've got The Tidal Zone by Sarah Moss. And yeah, this has been very highly hyped. It's been all over BookTube. Had mainly really high ratings. There are some people that felt that it wasn't worth the hype, but I always think, right, I'll look at it in my own views and see what I think of it. This is we've got Adam, who is doing some historical work, doing some writings on the bombings of Coventry Cathedral in the war, and he suddenly gets this phone call to say that his 15-year-old daughter has suddenly stopped breathing, had sort of a cardiac arrest, and yes, off he goes rushing off to hospital. And I'm excited to read it actually. She's very well thought about. It's Sarah Moss, so I'll see what I think. And I wasn't going to pay the full price for it. So yeah, excellent condition. And next we've got A Short History of Tractors in Ukrainian. This is by Marina, Lewycka. I'm not sure if that's the correct pronunciation. Lewycka. I mean, this is Penguin, released by Penguin, and I've not actually heard of Marina, but obviously she's been shortlisted for an Orange Prize in the past, and it's supposed to be quite funny, a bit tongue-in-cheek, a bit of a dark satire, and this is about two sisters that don't really get on that well, but they join forces to try and get rid of the new stepmother. Oh dear. But it's supposed to be hilarious, so we'll see how that goes. And also, there was the second book by this lady as well, and this is called Two Caravans. Now, this is supposed to be the better of the two. Oh, there's a bookmark inside there. 1914, Brinkburn Music Festival, wherever Brinkburn is. This is supposed to be the better of the two, and this is where the oh sorry, my mind's gone blank. I've forgotten what I was going to say now. Strawberry Fields of Kent, and the migrant workers there, for some reason they have to flee and leave the jobs and flee, and it's all about their characterisations as they're moving around the UK looking for other work. It's supposed to be hilarious, so be glad to get to those two. These are all massive, these ones. Out of Alice, Kerry McGinnis, and not heard of her either. And this says, when Sarah Blake takes up position as governess on Red Hill Station in Central Australia, she isn't expecting to encounter a family in crisis or to uncover a tragedy of her own. So I don't really want to know too much more about this. Be excited to get into that, set in Australia. Oh, getting books all around me. I'm covered by books. The Murder Magpies, Anthony Horowitz. My boys used to love, must have read everything by Anthony Horowitz, and I'm not sure whether this is a YA or whether it's an adult actually. Not really sure, but it's the Magpie Murders, and this is featuring, now I looked at this and I had to laugh again, because if you remember I was sort of in my Catherine's Cosy Crime laughing about Ethelred and Elsie in the Herring in the Library, and I was talking about silly names. Well, the detective in this series is called Atticus Pund. Atticus Pund, I don't know where they get these names from, goodness me. Anyway, we'll see what Atticus Pund's got to say for himself in the book. Oh dear, Atticus Pund. And then finally, just take a look at this cover. Actually, it was the cover that I was drawn to. The Undead and Unwelcome by Mary Janice Davidson. Now, I didn't realise that this is a series, so it's the Undead series, and this is book 8. So I didn't do so well there. Not particularly got too many good reviews on Goodreads, although in the series in general people tend to love. They didn't think this was one of their favourites, but the number 1 is called Undead and Unwed, so I'll have to look out for that. But anyway, this one, and I read this blurb and the cover and I was a bit taken with it, so there we go. And it said, Betsy Taylor has problems with only a vampire queen's suburban wife could possibly understand, such as 50,000 angry werewolves. That's what Betsy is facing when she takes her werewolf friend Antonia's body to Cape Cod, where the pack resides, and she has no idea if the Wyndham werewolves will welcome her with fangs of friendship. I like the sound of that one. So if you've read any of these Undead mysteries, please let me know down below and see, let us all know what you think of them. But yeah, like the look of that one. Like Cruella de Vil crossed with the woman out the Addams Family, Morticia. That's it, Morticia in the Addams Family. So there we go. I've got a few more left, but it's all by one author, so I'm going to do that as part 3, and just cover that author on my own. On his own. So thanks for joining me for part 2, and see you again next time for part 3.